Hello everyone, myself Khyati Vyas from JMP English Medium Saraswati Group of Education. Today I am conducting this session for grade 5, subject SS. We are dealing with chapter number 4, major landforms, and this is my session number 3 for this chapter. So kids, before I start explanation regarding today's session, let us recall what did we learn in this chapter in our previous sessions. Yes, we already know that there are many types of landforms, or you can see physical features on the earth's surface, right? Which are they? Firstly, our earth is made up of two things, that is land and water. Amongst land, there are big land masses called continents. They are 7. Big water bodies are called oceans. Oceans are 5. Right? So now, as I already told to you in earlier sessions, that in land there are different types of land forms. You find mountains, hills, valleys, plateaus, plains, deserts, rivers, correct? All these things you find on the surface of land. Land में अलग-अलग varieties है, right? Okay. So now we have learnt about mountains, plateaus, and plains, and their features in our previous session. Correct? In today's session, we will be learning regarding the rivers and their features, and desert and their features. First, in mountains, what did we learn? Mountains, very high elevated land, or the land above the sea level, they are called mountains. The peak of the mountains are normally covered with snow because they are high in altitude and the temperature decreases as we go higher than the sea level. Right? Since the peaks are covered with snow, the vegetation is not possible in the mountainous region. Plus, due to extreme cold climate, the population there is also very less. Less people or less number of people can live there. So they are less populated. Then, the people, those who are living in mountainous region, normally they live in the foothills. Means the beginning part or the down area on the mountains are called the foothills. Right? So those who are living in mountainous region, they normally live in the foothills of the mountain. Then mountain act as a barrier to the winds, that is hot wind and cold wind. Right? So they are barriers, means they will not allow the winds to blow further. So they act as a natural barrier. Then these mountains are thickly covered with forest, and that is why they support a large variety of wildlife as well. Where there is a forest, there are wild animals. So these forests will support the wildlife to survive. And these wildlife or wild animals, they are also a natural resource to the country. Then, these mountains are also rich in minerals. They are rich in minerals. Many different types of minerals are found in the mountainous region. And lastly, since the slopes of these mountains are having its natural scenic beauty, so they develop as a main tourist attractions. So these were the features of mountains. Then we discussed regarding plateaus. Plateaus are the high lands which are higher than the area around surrounding it, but on the top again they are flat. So they are called plateaus. Plateaus are also called as tablelands. Now what are the features of plateaus? The features of plateaus are, they are very good for agriculture, the soil is fertile and It also suitable for sheep rearing and cattle rearing. Plateaus are good for sheep rearing, cattle rearing, agriculture, etc. Then, since plateaus are a very large area, they extend to many kilometers, they are large area of land. They are not small. They are very large area of land. Then Deccan Plateau is the large plateau in India. Then we discuss the plateaus like Chota Nagpur Plateau. It is also in India. It is a rich source of minerals. It is a rich source of minerals. In Chota Nagpur Plateau, many minerals are found. So plateaus are also good and rich in minerals. Then plateaus also have deep canyons. I shared a picture with you. Canyons are just a deep valley which is having the slope, steep slope, and in between, normally the river flows or the stream flows. So they are canyons. Then we talked about the plains. Plains are the large area with flat surface. Normally there is no change in the surface of the plains. They are flat land area. There are no variation, or you can say very less variation you can find in plains. Now, these plains are very fertile because to the north of India there are northern mountains, and when the snow in the northern mountains get melt due to the heat of the sun, it flows down as water in form of a river. And when this river flow down the slopes, they carry the silt along with them. What is silt? Fine sand or mud which is carried along with the water. And when this river enters the plains, the flow of the water decreases, the speed of the water's flow decreases, and this silt just gets deposited on the river banks, and thus it makes the plains very fertile. Very fertile means good for growing crops. Clear? So this was regarding plains, and the features of the plains are this silt make the plains fertile. Then plains are thickly populated. Many people live here in the plains because it is very much easy for them to survive, to develop any occupation. It is easier for them. Next main thing is many big towns and cities are also developed in the plains. And then civilizations like Indus Valley civilization or the Egyptian civilization. Indus Valley civilization developed near the river Indus in India, and Egyptian civilization was developed near river Nile. So normally in the past also, if you see these civilizations, great civilizations, they developed near the rivers only, because of this reason that the rivers bring the silt from the mountain and making these plains very fertile or good for growing crops. Then plains also support good connection of roadways or good network of roadways and railways. Since they are plains, it is very easy to plant roadways and railways in these regions. So this was all that we studied in our previous lecture. Now in today's lecture we will learn regarding the rivers. You all know what is river. Here the rivers are given in land forms because rivers normally they flow on the land. Sometimes in rivers there are two types of river. One is perennial river, one is it is called, we can say, the seasonal river. Yes, perennial rivers are those rivers which are fed by the water throughout the year. Because the snow gets melted in the mountain and continuously the water flows down these rivers. But there are some rivers which are watered only during the monsoon season and few months after the monsoon season, because the water is stored. When it starts raining in monsoon season, these rivers get filled with water and water starts flowing. But once the monsoon season is over, what happens? For few months, these water get flow. After that, it gets dried up, and when it's summer, there is no water in this river. Right? So now, these rivers, what are the importance of these rivers? Rivers are large natural stream of water that flow towards an ocean, a lake, sea or another river. Rivers, they are a stream flowing water, and these water, when it flows, it either goes and joins to a sea or an ocean, or it also joins sometimes to another river. It also joins some lake, pond, etc. So this water, it keeps flowing continuously. Have you observed any ocean or a sea? The water does not flow. You can see the waves, but the water does not flow, right? But in rivers, the water keeps flowing. Now, a river usually originates in the mountain and its journey is getting end towards the sea or an ocean. It starts normally, not all, but majority of the rivers, they start from the mountains because of the melting snow, and they flow down and gets joined to a sea or an ocean and ends over there. Because once it joins the ocean, the sea and ocean together, it becomes the ocean only. So the river ends there when it's joined the ocean or a sea. During the course of this journey, it passes through 3 different stages. When it is flowing from the mountain, then it flows to the plains, then it enters the ocean. In this process, there are different phases which river has to undergo. It has to face. What are they? First one. The first stage of the river is the upper or the youthful stage. Upper stage. सबसे पहला stage. Upper stage. In this stage, the river flows rapidly down the mountain slopes and cuts through the mountain, forming a valley, waterfall, rapids and canyons. I had shared a picture of rapids too. Here, since these are the mountains, and when the river starts from the melting snow over here, it flows down rapidly, means very quickly. It flows down. And at that time, what happens? If the steep of the mountain, here it is, slope of the mountain is steep. Then from here, the water flows, and then from here directly it falls down, so it becomes a waterfall. Sometimes it converts into rapids. Rapids means the river or a stream which is flowing very fast, and normally it is over the stones. You cannot see the mud or the sand there. It flows through the stones, but the speed is very high. At a high speed it flows. So they are called rapids. Now the second stage or the mature stage of a river begins as it enters the plains. When it's come down from the mountains, that is the first stage or the upper stage, you can say. Youth stage, upper stage, anything. Then it comes to the plains. Once it flows down the mountain, then it enters the plains region. When it enters the plain, this is called the mature stage. Now, here it widens as it is joined by its tributary. Here it widens, means it becomes big. First it was narrow, now it has become wide. Because this river, it gets joined by its tributaries. Because when it flows down the mountain, what happens? Some water will flow from this side, some from this side, some from this side. But when it enters the plains, it all becomes one, and this full will become a large or a broad water body. So it widens. Then it deposits itself on its side, making the land fertile. And the silt brought down from the mountain is deposited here on the sides and making this plains very fertile area. Because of the silt, it becomes very fertile. The speed of the river decreases as it makes meanders or loops. Meanders or loops, as I told you. River flows sometime like this. So the speed of the water decreases. When you are driving your vehicle or you are riding a cycle, see, if the road is very straight, you can ride it fast. But if the road is something like this, mended, or the loops, can you drive fast or can you ride the bicycle very fast? No, you have to go a bit slow, right? So same way, this river, the flow of the water the speed of the flow of the water gets decreased because of the loops or the meanders. Then the third stage of the river is known as the old stage. This was the youth stage when it is flowing through the mountains. When it enters the plains, it becomes a mature stage. Here the speed is very high of the flowing water. Here the speed decreases, and the third stage is the old stage. The movement of river becomes very slow here. Just before entering the sea, it branches out into many small streams called distributaries, forming a delta. Again, before it enters the sea, it again forms. Now this is a river. Now before here you see it is a sea. Now before entering here what happens? It branches again. And this part is called a delta. See, it looks like a triangle. These all streams or the distributaries are from the same river. From the same river, when before entering the sea or the ocean, it again distributes, and this forms a distributary or a delta. Delta is normally of a triangle in shape. Deltas are normally in triangle shape. The Sundarban Delta in India is formed by the Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers. In India, near West Bengal, you see the Sundarban Delta. The name of the delta is Sundarban. This delta is formed by the river Ganga and Brahmaputra. Another example of a delta is the Nile Delta in Egypt. River Nile flows through Egypt. So in Egypt you can see Nile Delta. Now last part is the desert part. Now you are already knowing what are deserts. You might have also seen the pictures. You might have also visited maybe the desert. In Gujarat, if you go to Kutch, it is a desert area. Right? So some of you might have already visited there. Now deserts are vast area of sand that receive little or no rainfall and extreme temperature. Here in desert it is very dry area because there is little rainfall or sometimes even no rainfall at all. And the temperature here is also extreme. Means during summer season it is extremely hot and during winter season it becomes extremely cold. Okay, so just don't think that deserts are only hot. No, it is cold as well. During winter it becomes extremely cold. And in deserts also we are having two types of desert. Hot desert and cold desert. That we will be learning further. Now, many plants and animals are found in deserts. So, here in desert, not many plants or animals are found because plants are not there. They don't get water, so how will the plant grow? So plants will not be available. Only some bushes are there, that too thorny bushes. Right? These thorns, they prick us. So thorny bushes are there. And when plants are not available, do you think animals can survive there? Because animals feed on plants. They need plants to eat, and without eating they cannot survive. So these plants, since plants are not available, animals are also not available. So due to extreme climatic conditions, not many plants and animals are found in deserts. Many plants and animals are not found. In Indian Union, the Union Territory of India, that is Ladakh, is a cold desert. Ladakh, it is a place or it is a Union Territory of India, and this is a cold desert. Rajasthan is a hot desert, but Ladakh is cold desert. So in India you can see there are two types of deserts. One is hot desert, other one is cold desert. Cold desert because it is covered with snow normally throughout the year and the temperature is extremely cold over there. Deserts are usually located on the western side of continent. So in any continent, deserts it is observed that deserts are found on the western side, not on the eastern side. Even in India, you might have observed. This is north, east, this is south, and this is west. Rajasthan is somewhere over here in the map of India. Right? That is a desert. Rajasthan is a desert area. So it comes to the western side. But not only in India. India is a country. India is country of the continent of Asia. Right? But normally in all the continents, if there are deserts, they are found on the western side of the continent. So, some of the famous deserts of the world are the Sahara Desert in Africa, Thar and the Arabian Desert in Asia, Great Australian Desert in Australia, and Patagonia Desert in South America. These are the important deserts. Now, features of deserts. You might be already knowing the features. Rainfall is less, temperature is extreme, no much vegetation and animals are found. These are also the features. So let's look into the features now. Desert experience extreme climate. Yes, the days are very hot and the nights are cold because the sand has a quality to heat up very fast and gets cooled also very fast. So when the sun rises, the sand gets heated up very fast, and when the sun sets, the sand gets cooled down very fast. Similar way, water also has there is a feature of water that water takes more time to get heated up, and once it is heated, it takes more time even to cool down. Right? But sand is opposite. It gets heated up fast and gets cooled also very fast. That is why day time in the desert is extremely hot and the nights are cold. Sand dunes are small sand hills or sand found in the desert. Small sand hills that are found in desert, they are called sand dunes or sand dunes. They are formed when winds carry sand from one place to another. This sand, it does not have much of weight. It is very light weighted. So when the wind blows heavily, there are no obstacles for the wind to get stopped. There are no trees. So the wind blows and it blows very fast. And when this wind blows, the sand from one place is carried away with the wind and it gets deposited in some other place. And when next time the wind blows, sand from that part gets shifted to some other part. So these sand dunes does not have any fixed place, because the wind carries this sand from one place to another and these dunes or sand dunes get shifted. Right? Sand dunes are nothing but small hills made up of sand. The vegetation in desert is less as there is very little or no rainfall. That is very common part as we discussed. Since the plants will not get any water, how will the plant grow? So the vegetation is less. Desert plants include cacti and date palm. Cacti is nothing but cactus and date palms. These are the common plants found in the desert area. Oases are areas in desert where water is found. Date palm grow around oases. Oasis is such a place in desert where you can see some amount of water. All around it, the surrounding area is deserted, but a small portion you can see some water. So that portion in the desert is called, where you find water, is called an oasis. And normally these date palm trees, they grow near the oasis only because they get water from the oasis. So these were all the major landforms that you found on the surface of earth. Clear? So here we have completed the explanation part of this chapter. Next session we will look into the exercise of this chapter. But before that, read the chapter completely and check if you are having any doubts. Go through the videos once again. Along with this video, I am sending a PDF that is your homework. Read the instructions properly and do your work with good handwriting and no spelling mistake. If you have liked this video, please click on the like icon. See you in the next session. Bye bye.